Hello, everybody. Welcome to a freaking summer Sunday fun day. Sorry, it's hot. It's hot as hell. I know everybody's like, oh, it's hot summer. Oh, what do we expect in summer? Y'all just don't deal with Texas as summer. I mean, we Texans, we know it doesn't get as hot as, say, like in Arizona and New Mexico. They, at least it's dry, so it's just hot. Here it's hot and it's muggy as balls. It's just the worst thing ever.
Yeah, and just like it rains 9 months of the year in Seattle, here it's summer for like 9 months of the year.
Yeah,
Probably longer.
yeah. Most women here that get pregnant, it's during the summer probably. They can't help it. It's just how it is. But besides complaining about the freaking temperature, we're going to talk about Sicario, Day of the Soldado, where they've completely missed the possibility of calling it the Dia
Yeah,
E.
Dia del.
Yeah.
That's
Or
all.
would it be Dia E? Or no, Dia E I guess would be Dia and, or the day and soldier, but
Yeah.
yeah. Dia el Soldado. Anything like that. I don't know why they decided to cut up the Spanish, but you know. Yes, we do know some Spanish. Quick disclaimer, we're gonna both say I was trying to get the first movie, but I couldn't find it for a price I was willing to pay. Because no offense, I'm not gonna pay $20 for a movie I've never seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't seen the first film. Totally understandable. Though speaking with my brother, who did go with us, this movie doesn't really have that much in connection beyond Josh Brolin and
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro. Even then, their characters are a little at odds from what he remembers. So we're gonna talk about it, but I'm gonna let Megan start us off since she wasn't able to rail against Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom like she wanted to last week. So
I was gonna say we didn't have much time. Some friends invited us for a game night, and it lasted a while. It was
Yeah.
fun though. Yeah.
So, what did you think of Sicario Dia el Soldado? Which is what I'm going to keep calling it. Megan loved this, can't you tell? So why do you give this such a hard...
It is. Oh my god, this movie was so slow. And it's not just that it was slow to start. I thought, like, oh, by the time they put the plan into action and everything, it's like, oh, okay, it's picking up now finally. Okay, good. We're rolling along. Good. But then slow down again. Sped up just for a little bit. Slow down again. It just constantly was like so slow. It's like, where's my fast forward buttons? Like fast, like skip, 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 skip.
Yeah, this movie suffers from a lot of that consistent where... Oh, I call it consistent because it's just constantly just this tepid pace that you're like, can we move at something better than a light jog? It wouldn't even, I don't even think it'd be a light jog. It'd be like a guy literally crawling through the desert. It's part of the reason why I have issues with most westerns. And all essence, this is a modern day western.
Yeah.
But it is a modern day western that is not interesting in the least. Those who are wondering about the actual... Holy shit, I forgot to do something. Sorry, Goku wanted to voice his opinion and I forgot to mute my phone. But to pretty much describe the plot of this entire movie, Sicario is about Mexican cartels are supposedly helping to smuggle terrorists across our borders. It actually opens up with what I would consider a really gripping sequence that should hold you till the plot of the movie really begins to move forward, which is you see a terrorist that is trying to sneak in with illegal immigrants across the Mexican and Texas border and blows himself up and kills probably a few border patrol agents. Also in Kansas City, you see guys blow themselves up in a pretty much like a Target grocery store thing.
Yeah.
Though somehow they say, oh, we only killed 15 people and it burned down a freaking store at the same time. You're shitting me? But I'll still say, though, the sequence, it's very well shot. It's just a constant, just cameras just moving while you see pretty much explosions happen. And there's a little CGI used to pretty much wipe away people going away, but the actual like stuff flying everywhere is practical. So it's like, all right, that's good. First off, and that could be a very gripping and powerful sequence. The and from there, it's like, all right, well, this you see Josh Brolin interrogating the Somali pirate because this movie, at the very beginning, it's very
all over the place.
yeah, it's like, all right, stick in one place, movie. Let's get a train of thought and let's go with it. And pretty much Somali pirate, they learned that they were gonna go rob this boat, but they're paid off by a cartel to ignore it. And this is how these guys originally got into the U.S. and were able to bomb this not target. Never mind the fact I'm going to go ahead and spoil something.
Or at least get into Mexico so they can sneak across the border there.
Yeah, supposedly they retcon this 3/4 of the way through the movie, and it doesn't make any sense when it does happen. Because, I don't know, because you had to use a Russian manual at one point. I think they might have said that. Was that, well, we learned they're all American citizens, these guys that did. It's like, but use it.
Yeah, I come back from the bathroom just in time for them to... It's like, oh, it was like, turns out they're from New Jersey.
Yeah, and it's one that's like, wait.
Like, it changed the whole narrative. It's like, the hell does that matter? It's like, y'all into this shit here already. It's like, might as well just see it all the way through.
Well, beyond just that, there's also the problem of the fact it's a retcon in all essence, and it's in the movie that it's retconning. And it's like, wait, you said you had intel on this and you proved this. Was it intel shitty or something? I know that's not uncommon,
it
but...
It can't have been just the one terrorist that they smuggled into Mexico and then tried to smuggle across the border.
Yeah, because otherwise the whole Kansas City thing was stupid and it has nothing to do with this film, which makes the one really powerful sequence in the movie utterly pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's superfluous to the actual film, if that is true.
I was like, well, what was really superfluous was this...
Megan's want to jump ahead. I just want to talk about the plot, what there is. Mind you, though, to describe the plot as tepid is being nice. I hate to keep using the same word, but it's insufferably slow. You do not have... This movie never feels like it gets above a crawl. And sometimes the action... When the action is done, sometimes it's done well. But then there's sometimes the action... It's shot fine, but they decide to take it in a weird fucking direction that doesn't make sense. And I'm about to get into that here in a minute. For some reason, we have to constantly cut between them trying to recruit back Benicio del Toro so he can help Josh Brolin start with the cartels.
Yeah.
In all essence, that's the actual plot. As what they were trying to do.
I'm trying to remember, why were they trying to start with the cartels?
Because if the cartels are fighting each other, they don't have enough time and money and energy to be able to spend helping to smuggle people across the U.S. border.
Including terrorists?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, how do they figure it's like...
It's, again, they keep paralleling, and again, it's another thing where they mention something that they retcon it later on in the movie. Josh Brolin said we used a tactic in Iraq where we originally had, different warlords pretty much play off each other. And I was thinking in my head, it's like, that really didn't seem like an Iraqi thing. It seemed more like an Afghanistan thing. Because this movie's supposed to be grounded somewhere in reality. And later on, they actually do say Afghanistan. It's like, okay, so either they fucked up the line when they originally said it, or, again, we're retconning something. And it's like, the shit, guys, come on, same page. It's like, everybody's going, where's Josh?
Yeah, I gotta imagine they rewrote the script a couple times while they were in the middle of filming it.
Yeah, because, holy shit, this movie... The big idea is to get two of the major cartels to fight each other. So what they do is they go and kill a lawyer, this one guy. It's like, all right, the movie's finally starting to move a little bit.
Yes.
Because that's the scene that you see in the trailers where Benicio del Toro guns down the guy after he gives him his glasses.
Yeah, just like...
Yeah.
That's a very stupid way to shoot a gun, but okay.
It's because it's a semi-automatic and that makes it fire faster. I'm not saying it's a smart way because you actually have very little control over it because it's only by the handle you have. Because realistically, you should also hold near the hold somewhere up here. But you gotta also wash your thumb because otherwise, whenever the slide goes back, you can tear off your finger a little bit. What?
You know a little too much about guns.
I know my weapons. But yeah, I will say like that scene. Hey, it's cool. It's good. It's like all right, we're back into it. Because, mind you, the point where we're talking about them building up this fighting the cartels and everything, it's 20, 30 minutes of a movie, and it's like sitting there going, okay, come on, guys.
Like I said, it's like very slow to start, and then they, put their little plan into action. It's like, okay, so we're now we're speeding things up again.
Yeah, because they go and kidnap this little girl, and that ends up being one of the main cartel's daughters, and it's the purpose of the idea. And then...
Yeah, it's supposed to be, like...
And here's where a movie gets... Not only does it also still go into the pace of a turtle crawling across hot cement while trying to walk backwards on a sloth. They act like they found her...
Yeah.
And are going to return her. It's where the Hummers there in the trailer come in. So they ride across the Mexican border, get with federales, and I'm not even making a joke here, they actually call it the federales. That's their actual name, assholes.
Yeah.
And turns out there's federales that are on the payroll of the rival cartels trying to kill the little girl. Or at least capture her so that way they can be like, look, dude, we have your daughter, slit her throat or something. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do.
Yeah, they attacked Josh Brolin, Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, and they seem surprised by it. It's like, well, what the fuck do you expect? Because you knew you were driving into this territory. Yeah. And not only that, but it doesn't make sense why they're giving back this girl. Because that's never really well established. Like, they're just like, well, we're going to return her for reasons.
To keep up the ruse. Like, oh, we rescued you. Like, now we're going to return you to your father.
Yeah, and it's...
something, But then they never do return her to her dad's. Like, why can't they just give her back to her dad?
Well, he is the main cartel guy, so I mean, I get why they don't want to.
But it's like, that is still her dad.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not explained at all. But during this whole shootout sequence, here's where the movie decides to have this, like I was describing it earlier, weird, well-shot action. The action isn't that shaky cam bullshit that I freaking hate. It's much more steady. But instead of following Josh Brolin, Benicio del Toro, and their group, fighting against these corrupt Mexican cops and, these other gang guys who are just laying out in the desert waiting on them. No, we have to follow this screaming girl. And when I say screaming, she's screaming almost the entire time, and we're just watching pretty much the stuff that's happening around one Humvee. Now,
almost as bad as Jurassic World.
Do I?
Almost as bad as Jurassic World. The little girl kept screaming and everything.
Oh, yeah. But what I mean is, like, how the action is shot. It's like, it's so weird they decided to take that route. It's like, okay, so we're, instead of following, the cool stuff, watching these guys be badasses and really take down, bad guys. No, we're watching this girl screaming in the dirt. Why? Why is this here? Why is it shot this way?
And they nearly get kidnapped. For real, and like Benicio del Toro saves her, and that's when she figures out, like, oh, you're not a cop, you're...
Yeah, and then there's also, it gets dumber, because Josh Brolin and his group of, pretty much they're mercenaries, but they are still working for the U.S. government, they didn't, obviously, there's a few federal police that are still alive, or federales, and they're kind of uncertain about him, and one of them shoots one of the guys. So, what do? They gun them all down. What'd you expect? And the movie decides that, hey, alright, so all that, cool action, Benicio del Toro being a badass and everything. No. What you really, really want to watch is Benicio del Toro riding with this little girl, kind of doing nothing. And you also want to watch Josh Brolin have to deal with political intrigue. I cannot describe to y'all how monumentally boring that is. not only is it not interesting, I mean, even from an American dealing with American politics, I fucking don't care. But on top of it, you just have, like I said, retconnings to retcons, the idiotic stuff to idiotic stuff. Originally, the Secretary of Defense at the beginning of this movie said, hey, do whatever you want. But then whenever they came back from across the border, just barely making it away with their lives, they originally were going to set up, hey, Benicio, I don't even remember his name. I think it was like Abraham or something they said once. I cannot remember, honestly. Oh, Alejandro, that's his name.
Yeah, he spelled it out for that deaf guy.
Yeah, there's a deaf guy at one point because that part's important.
Yeah, he takes shelter with this deaf guy and his family, and they kind of explains apparently he had a daughter. I don't know if...
It was from the first one. That's like the only real connection I have with the first one, saying that he used to have a family. And the little girl's dad was the one who ordered the hit on his family, killed most of his family, but Benicio del Toro. But, so, Josh Brolin's back in the U.S. He's back in the USSR. Couldn't help the joke. He was there. And this one lady who's supposed to be the head of their task force or whatever, she's like, you weren't supposed to start a war with the Mexican government. And
yeah, pretty much like in the trailer saying, it's like, well, we hired you to start a war with the Mexican cartels, not with the Mexican government.
Yeah, and then Josh Brolin, here's where he actually says the thing that is pretty much pointing out the flaws in the movie. It's like Josh Brolin suddenly, he's like, hey, here's where your plot holes are. Because he's like, oh, we got shot at first. And she's like, well, it's like, no, we got shot at. One of my guys, if he didn't have Kevlar vest, would be dead right now. Do not sit here and try and lecture to me about, oh, we should have done this or that. It's like, no. And he also said, it's like, obviously they were being paid off. We don't know who we can actually trust are with the Federals or even with the Mexican government. And besides the fact, they're trying to make a big deal. Well, we Americans were caught shooting Mexican Federals. Well, first off, you can easily show the actual footage, because they had a drone watching over them, that shows they were being shot at first. And he said, you can put spin on it. It's like, you don't even got to put spin. You just tell the truth. This is not a hard situation to fix. And she's like, no, we are stupid, so we're doing stupid stuff for stupid reasons. So we have to have the plot be retarded and all this. Sorry to use a profane word, as people call it. I don't get it. It's like the movie's something... Like, the first part was written by somebody who had some semblance of how to try and make something intriguing, and also throwing up a lot of confusion. And that would be the idea. It's like, we don't know who we can trust. That would seem like the idea. And the second half of this movie was written by somebody else who thought that, oh, everybody's nice, but they're not, even though we have clear evidence otherwise. I don't get it. I'm thoroughly confused. But that's not really important. Mind you, that's about 45 minutes to 50 minutes or so into the movie, and then we chug slowly on to Benicio del Toro trying to get this girl across the border because...
Pretty much like, okay, it's like they were pretty much having to disavow you, so, get rid of her.
Yeah, they said, get rid of her, and he's like, I can't do that. Why? I don't know.
I guess because...
In total disagreement with how his character was set up. First movie, I guess the first movie doesn't exist.
I guess because he once had a daughter, now it's like, okay, well, I have to protect this little girl like I would my own daughter or something.
Yeah, even though he showed none of that care intrigue in the first movie. That's the problem, because one scene I do know and I have seen, in the first movie, he kills this family. This guy who was the main one pushing behind, or was the one that led the attack on his family. Not the actual cartel, but the guy who actually perpetrated it. He kills his family in front of him. And daughter and all. So,
now suddenly he has morals.
Yeah, it's completely contradictory to his original self. So, now, like I said, when I say it trudges, we've had to also endure throughout this entire film. I don't even remember this freaking kid's name.
I don't either. That's the bad part.
Joe the Smuggler. That's what we're going to call him. And Joe the Smuggler is this kid who you've seen off and on throughout it. It keeps cutting back and forth to him. And here's the honest thing.
Yeah, it starts off by him being recruited by his cousin, saying it's like, okay, you could work the cartel smuggling people in, you know, because you have an American passport, you know, you can come go as you please, you know.
Yeah, it's good money and yada yada yada. All it leads to is eventually there's a connection between Benicio del Toro trying to get this little girl out of Mexico and into the U.S. because it turns out, and it's just one throwaway line they say, that her mother's actually in the U.S. How he knows this, I don't know. I guess it's something that's said earlier and I just zoned out from pure boredom.
Yeah.
But
yeah, basically he sees Benicio del Toro, and having run into him in a previous scene in Texas,
he's like, oh, he's totally not an actual, you know, migrant who's trying, or illegal immigrant.
I'm saying it's like, oh, I've seen him before, and pretty much like outs Benicio del Toro, and he and the little girl get separated, and spoiler alert, Benicio del Toro gets shot. But he survives because it's in the cheek.
And also he's, you know, Iron Man.
I guess so.
But mind you, what we've just summed up over, you know, just that last little bit, that's the entire hour and 10 minutes left of the movie. It's just a slow slog of nothing happening. There's no tension. There's no, like, the only tension is whenever they first are thinking about or they might have found out Benicio del Toro, who he is or thing. But even then, it's, at this point, you're like, I just don't care. I can't bring myself to give a shit about this. This is just, we're gonna move at the pace of slow motion video. Slow motion shots.
Yeah, the American smuggler kid, I can't care about him. The little girl, I couldn't really care about her, although I did find it funny at the beginning, her beating the shit out of another little girl at her school.
Mm-hmm.
Because the girl, like, slapped her and called her a name. It was like, yeah, it's probably my daughter.
And
probably my kid.
The girl gets saved by Josh Brolin thanks to shenanigans.
And it's like, oh, let's put her in the witness protection. After all that, like, y'all were trying to kill her.
Well, Josh Brolin, it's his morals and everything, and I guess it's his way of kind of paying back Benicio del Toro for all his service.
Because he thought he was dead.
I don't know. Yeah, and it's...
Because he saw him get shot, and it's like, oh, well, he's dead. It's like, well, I'm glad we didn't have to do that. It's like...
Well, Josh Brolin didn't say that.
Well, I'm saying,
Somebody
like, his buddy,
well, it wasn't his buddy. It was his contractor, in all essence. It weren't friends. It was somebody he was paying.
the guy that he was working with.
Mm-hmm. Or working for him.
Semantics.
Well, yeah, that happens, and the whole, like, putting her in witness protection, it's like, when it's like, this movie just literally digs up its own holes. Because, like, hey, so I have this stupid thing that, like, the lady who's the idiot in terms of how the government deals with stuff.
Yeah.
Why she never thought, it's like, hey, alright, so we have her. She could possibly be our trump card still to be able to use against the cartels, because still having issues with the fucking cartels. Because after the federal killed 20 Mexican police officers, they fucking shot her still. I can get back into that. But after that, she tries to say, like, we just need to clean it all up. It's like, why wouldn't she say, alright, we need to find this girl and go ahead and put her in witness protection, make sure she doesn't talk. Instead, she's like, I am evil, kill her. And even, I think
like, okay, we all fucked up. Let's just get rid of any evidence of our fuck up. Just get rid of her.
Yeah, and even though it's like, alright, we're still going to be fighting the cartels because there's still a problem, right? No, we must just do stupid stuff for stupid reasons. And pretty much Josh Brolin figures out all the ways to fix all of her stupid plan. It's like he works for Amazon and he actually knows what he's doing. it's surprising in how much it's like, wow, this parallels my work so badly. And by the end of the movie, there's the big twist because at one point you're pretty sure Benicio del Toro's probably dying. Getting shot through the mouth is just laying in the dirt. All the infections and all that probably in there.
Yeah, like hours later, like you find like, what the, oh.
You're like, oh God, I didn't talk about it ever again. But he meets up with Joe the smuggler after a year. I was about to call him smuggler.
What's that, hamburglar?
Yeah. And he's like, so you want to be a Sicario?
Like, close
the door.
Let's have a talk. Like, okay, that's freaking dumb.
It's like, I didn't care about Joe to begin with. I still don't care about him. Especially now that he friggin' looks like Emo David from Roseanne.
This kind of reminded me of Danny from First Ninja Turtles, but...
Yeah, as well.
Yeah, the movie is like so slow, like just dragging stuff out for no reason. The best example of it, Joe Schmo, that kid that's
Joe the smuggler.
Yeah. I cannot remember that kid's name.
It's probably something like I almost want to call him Jose, but I don't think that's his actual name.
Yeah, it was...
It's not me trying to be racist. I swore they called him Jose.
Miguel. That was his name.
Alright, Joe. Sounds good.
I was saying Miguel. Yeah, Kid Miguel, he kind of freaks out because he thinks he's killing Benicio del Toro, and he's riding in the back of this truck with these other guys. And they're like, oh, hey, big man.
He walks off, but I guess he just walks off.
He just, like, jumps out of the truck. I'm like, hey, man. And he just, like, stands there just kind of staring off. I was like, okay, you want to do something? Like, go? Or get back in the truck? Something?
It's art.
Yeah, like him just like staring off into the distance, like, oh man, like life has changed. Just, it's like, it's like
Jeffrey.
Fast forward. It's like, oh my god, like I don't care about this kid, and I was like, okay, we get it. He's like freaking out because he thinks he's just killed someone. You don't need to drill it into our skulls. Just move on with the scene. The movie takes time way too much.
Takes time too much?
Takes its time way too much.
Okay.
Like, too many scenes, like... Just even plot lines, even. Not even just scenes, but... So I was like, oh my god, quit dragging this out. Quit torturing me here.
Legitimately, this movie probably could have been an hour and a half long, if not shorter.
Yeah.
If they would have just cut down some of the slower paced bullshit. There's whole sections where people are just not talking and just driving or just walking. It's like, this isn't tense. This isn't building up tension in any way. I don't care. It's like if you sat there and showed me a guy sitting there on the toilet taking a shit. I don't care right now. And that's just, by the end of everything, you just don't care. There's too many inconsistencies from what I've been told about from the first one and from what I've seen from the first one. There's way too many plot inconsistencies throughout the movie itself. The pacing is almost in a negative, just constantly going about that far. It's like they realized when they wrote the script and they looked through it, they went, shit, realistically this is 15 minutes. And went, well, let's slow everything down to a snail's crawl and we might be able to get a movie out of it. The best thing I could say is some of the acting is alright, but you're going to be so bored throughout this. I don't think you're going to care. In fact, you could tell a lot of our eyes just kind of... It's like... It doesn't have that real, like, grisly nature I do remember from the scenes I've seen from the first movie. It doesn't have any of those tense moments. It doesn't have anything. It feels hollow. It just feels empty. It feels like an old Western.
Yeah, I feel like any movie you've seen where, oh, we you know, accidentally gotten this kid involved with this one thing, so now we have to protect this kid. And like, there's a million other movies like that. Not just westerns, but especially westerns are bad about that.
There's a million movies that do it better too. It's the worst part. Well, if we keep going on, we're going to be going on longer than the movie itself. What would you give this as a score?
Well, I was thinking about being generous, giving it a 2, because I had a laugh or two, but... yeah, I gotta give it a 1.
I will be slightly generous. Generous. I'm going to be slightly generous, if I can actually say the damn word.
Words are hard for Charlie.
I'm going to give it a 2. The opening sequence in which it showed, like, the terrorists and everything, like I said, that is a very strong scene that could work in a much better, more tightly wound movie. That acting, like I said, it's good. You're just not going to care. And that's about it.
Yeah.
The movie just, it's so fucking slow. It's so weak in its storytelling. And its ability to be able to always convey a ton of emotion about it. It's not that the fact that the characters don't show emotion. They show emotion, just they don't make you want to give a shit about the actual sequence. Exactly. So,
yeah, like I said, I was going to give it a 2, but like the more we're talking about it, the more I'm just like... it's just tiring me how boring it is. Like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I gotta give it a 1.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was almost wanting to, but I'm like, there was a few things I at least liked. It's not like with Jurassic World. Like, the more I was thinking about Jurassic World, I just fucking can't stand that movie so much. But, as you can see...
it's that time of the month.
It's that most wonderful time of the month. We're going to talk about the movies we're going to see next month. Please be prepared. June has been. We've had some good, mostly shitty movies. And especially this past 3 months for me, or 3 weeks have been not good.
I think,
Next week, it's Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't think we even have to ask or say anything.
Yeah. Next week.
13th is going to be one of 2 movies, and it's not going to be the one you're thinking of. Possibly Hotel Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation. I don't give 2 shits about the entire series.
I get to show.
She likes them for reasons I don't quite yet know. Or if not, I know Sorry to Bother You, the new kind of really weirdly shot movie that I think looks really endearing and hilarious. And I laughed throughout the entire trailer. That gets its wide release the 13th, so I'm going to be curious. So those who are wondering, we're not going to go see Skyscraper. The only way we're going to go see Skyscraper... There we go. Words. I found them. The only way we're going to go see that piece of shit is if somebody holds a gun to our heads. I do like that. It fucked up again on the pictures. Mamma Mia 3 Skyscraper on it. The 20th, it's going to be The Equalizer 2 or Unfriended Dark Web. I would rather hang myself than go watch Mamma Mia Here We Go Again. First movie was fucking boring and just terribly sung. I don't need to see another thing just like it.
When did you go see that?
I watched it one time, like, before you even got together or something. No, it couldn't have been before we got together. I don't know when the movie... I don't know. You weren't with me. I just watched it on cable. Not on cable. It was on one of the movie channels. It was me doing this the whole time. Why is this? Why is this a thing? And to end out the month, for July 27th, we're going to see Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's just going to be a fun, stab him in the back movie that, like the others have been, and just be balls to wall insane in its action. That's what I want from the Mission Impossible series. So, like I said, this next month looks to be at least better. As long as I don't see Mamma Mia. Then it'll be better.
Yeah, I might go see that one, Mom.
Yeah, I might have an actual video for Mamma Mia. Like I said, it'll just be my feet hanging.
Wow, morbid.
Yeah. Dark. So, yeah.
You could just, like, be there with your your phone and like just listen to music or play a game or something. I mean, just like talking about it.
I'll just see me sitting here playing a game and I have my headphones in. So, yeah, you don't need to go see Sicario. It's not even worth like a few seconds of your time.
I'll say if you're bound and determined to see it, you don't really need to see the first one because I don't feel like I missed anything.
Like I said, from what I can tell, if you watch the first one, you'll actually be more annoyed with this movie. Simply because of how much it seems to ignore character-wise from the first one.
Characterization.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, fuck this
That was
movie.
the thing.
Go see Avengers again. Or go see, go see Solo. Give it some money. It's actually a fun movie. It's a fun, pretty much sci-fi western, so.
I don't get the hate for that movie.
Oh, that's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, let's call you Han Solo.
Yeah, that was
Like,
very
that
fun.
was a little, like, hammered down. It's like... But in that, yeah, it's a fun little ride.
We're mentioning about Solo, so hey, Sicario producers, don't dare try to take that out of context and say she's talking about Sicario. Dia el Soldado, you half-assed piece of shit. So hey, we'll see y'all next week with Ant-Man and the Wasp, the last Marvel movie I think before the next Avengers film. I think I might be dead wrong. Or Captain Marvel. No, Captain Marvel's before it. So Captain Marvel's next year. So.
Okay.
So until then, everybody, we'll see y'all later. So bye-bye, everybody.
Adios.
Amigos.